Okay, for you ladies, if you are going to date soon, you have to know something very important. You have to know how to dating works, but most importantly, the most important part is how to select the right person, right? How many times have you been in a relationship where it starts all fantastic, all it's fabulous, and then after a while starts to go down the hill? I think it has happened to most women. Some women are probably just lucky in life. I know one who has never going through that situation. But most women that I know, they have never been in a, they have always been in a relationship where everything starts fantastic and then it goes all the downhill. So how do you filter men? And that's what I wanted to make it just a short recap, okay, for you. There are some strategies that we can apply, but you have to know them very soon before you're even going to date. And that's why I asked the question about, you guys are single, want to date. I wanted to tell you something. So I have in front of me some studies all about psychology and studies done by experts in the field, and I want to share those findings with you, so they will not help you. Okay, now also, if you want to know more about how to filter a man, how to select the right relationship, in my book I set all the groundwork, all the strategies about how you can filter men. Okay, there is all one section about that, the questions you have to ask, for 14 questions, and the answers, etc. It's a lot of information. I know some of you have time, some of you don't, but that's why I'm giving you this live video. Okay, so I want to tell you short, what is the worst thing that you have to check out? I think, not the worst thing you have to check out. I mean, the most important thing you have to check out so you don't fall for the wrong guy, right? The worst that it can happen. I don't know if you have heard about the dark triad. Well, that is a term that is used from psychologists. They use it, they call it the dark triad for a reason, because it's dark and it's terrible, and that's the worst personality trait someone can have. And that is Machiavellism, narcissism, that we are so, some of us, or me, myself, I was so much in a relationship with so many narcissistic guys. They're the worst, by the way. I'm going to tell you more about that. And the other is psychosis, or it's called psychopathy, actually. Psychosis, or the psychopathy, okay? So what are they? They are, for Machiavellism, it's not per se, it's not bad per se. But if they are combined, that's the problem when they are combined. When someone has these three combined. And so I'm going to explain you each one of them. So Machiavellism is someone who is like, you know, if I do A, then she's gonna do E, and therefore I'm gonna get C, you know? So they are really good at planning to get something in return. Now, like I said, doesn't mean that automatically someone is bad because he's a good planner, right? It's someone who is strategically and in getting something of benefit to them. Now, there are some people that it doesn't mean that because they have this Machiavellism very well developed in them and it's their personality, that doesn't mean they are bad people. But you have to be aware of this trait, okay? Someone who is really, if someone is actually lying about something to get something in return, right? This is a Machiavellian attitude trait, and the most important is to check if the content, the way he gets it, right, is dark. So if he lies or he deceits people to get what he wants, and he's very strategically in doing so, even if he thinks his end game it's positive for him, this is a trait that you have to be aware of it, okay? Now the worst is when there is someone narcissistic. Narcissists, I think you might know what you can find them, but I had a full page speaking about narcissism in my book, so you can really see how you can catch a narcissist right away. Like you're in your first date and you catch it right away. And I even have some tips for you, some questions that you can ask so you can check if he has this trait. Now, narcissistic, it's all about me. It's all about me, myself, and I. But this guy is going to be very, very, very interested in you, because this kind of person is very charming, and that's the danger with narcissists. I always say that be very careful, because they are very confident, but they have low self-esteem. And low self-esteem, that means that they inside their hearts of hearts, they don't value themselves very much, and that's why they have a very fragile ego. Okay, this is very typical for narcissists, especially men. Psychopathy, well, this is the guy who is always a guy, and I'm saying a guy, but can be a woman, but someone who has this is always, everything is against him, and the world is dark and is pessimist and etc. Psychotic is someone who is also very there's no order in his life, very disorder, and also it's very impulsive. Impulsiveness is high in anyone who has psychotics. Okay, someone who can control himself, and who is the contrary, which would be consciousness. Someone who is conscious, and we think about it, we think twice before is going to say something, who's going to act. There are degrees in all of this, of course, and that's why you have to be careful, because it's not one single thing or two things, or 3 or 5 that are going to make you decide if this is a good person. It's a whole that you have to be observing, and that's why I wrote an entire chapter in my book speaking about this and how can you filter. Okay, now something that I wanted to tell, because I'm checking here, this is the Journal of Research in Personality where I'm getting this information, which I find is super interesting. It's speaking about the relationship between emotional intelligence and the dark triad personality traits. And this is an analysis that they have done, and here we have the highlights, and the highlights says that emotional intelligent people are low in Machiavellism, okay? And like I mentioned, Machiavellism per se is not bad, but usually it's not bad, but it's not the best that you want to have in someone Machiavellian, right? You want to have contact and a relationship with someone who is more empathetic, more compassionate, right? I'm unconscious, okay? So easy to say when emotional intelligence is a broader umbrella of the personality, and I can speak a little bit about it after this. Now, emotional intelligence again is low in psychopathic. So someone who has all this, what he's saying to us is that you want to aim for someone who has high levels of emotional intelligence. I'm going to tell more about that. So it's also, but narcissism, that is a little tiny problem that they have found, that you can be very high intelligence or high intelligent and still be narcissistic. And I have found this to be true. That's why I mentioned it's not just, you cannot just see one thing in a person and then you say, okay, this is a guy that is gonna make my life miserable. No, it's so much more complex. It's really, you have to put everything together and really decide. And the problem is that you have to decide early on, because otherwise you're gonna get attached and you're gonna get your emotions involved. And one most important thing I wanted to tell you, men are easily attached, but are also, by science, it's proven that they are also easier disattached from any person. That is their biology. I'm not saying that because I am inventing things. This is the biology, okay? And psychology also has proven this to be truth. So you have to be careful with this, because yeah, you can love him, he can love you, you can have an amazing time, but you have to make sure that you are investing your heart and your time with the right person. Ladies, your future depends on it. I have a lot of lipstick. See you guys. I hope this video has informed you about your dating life. Be careful, stay strong, and download the 3 strategies that I'm going to be sharing in the link so you can start attracting a great relationship. See you guys. Bye bye. Next up.